Does every survival game have to begin with a crash landing? I guess there does have to be some sort of problem, or else what are we trying to survive for? Today, we brave the lush jungle islands of the forest. We're on a mission to find our son who has been unceremoniously stripped away from us. We're gonna have to weather an endless onslaught of scantily clad cannibal natives, delve deep into the caves beneath the island, and fight our way back to civilization. Or at least that's normally the goal. My goal is different. In this video, I plan to survive 100 days and become a permanent resident of this island. As a man who has found himself marooned in a hostile land, my first and utmost mission is to get myself a shelter. But while we're here, it would be wise to go through all the other passengers' belongings and see if there's anything that I want that we can bring back with us. Some pills, some clothing, more pills. Duct tape? Who flies with duct tape? After smashing through all these, it's time to set off in search of some prime real estate. I do have a master plan for where I want to build my compound, but for now, we need a home base so that I can get my life together. I've played this game through many times before, and the enemies that we're going to encounter on this island, they don't know how to swim. So for my first base, we're going to build this one on an island, and to get to the island, we're going to need to build a boat, and to build the boat, I'm going to have to cut some logs. And to transport those logs, we're going to need to make a log sled, and to build a log sled, we need to cut some sticks. It never ends. Anyways, it's nighttime. I just finished up my boat. On the boat, I have a stick rack, a log rack, and a drying rack for making jerky. This way, I have the supplies needed to make a super basic shelter when we get to our island. But for this first night, let's just sleep on the sailboat. There's a bunch of supplies on here along with some lore items. This is not a lore video, so I'm not going to be going too deep on it. Basically, missing kids, connection to the island, and there's weird mutants. Rise and grind, baby. Today, we're setting off in search of an island to build a satellite base on. After rowing about half the day, we're here and ready to build the shelter. I went with the hunting shelter since it has a low resource cost. I'm building a fire to keep warm and to cook on, a drying rack to store even more food, and I'm going to start by building a few of these birdhouses. If you're new or haven't played this game before, these are great because you're going to need a lot of feathers to make arrows. Well, we still have some daylight left, and with the basic base built, it's time to start upgrading my equipment. Upgrades to our kit come from caves beneath the island. These caves are full of dangerous enemies, but kind of operate like different dungeons where there's enemies, bosses, loot, and of course, unique gear upgrades. The first thing that I'm after is the map. I don't remember every little nook and cranny of the map, so it's really helpful to have something that we can reference. We find this one in Cave 2, also known as the Hanging Cave. If you die to an enemy early on, you were brought here tied upside down, hanging from the ceiling. Hence the name. Also in the cave, we're going to find the modern axe, which greatly increases how fast we can cut wood. It's a great upgrade, but not the best way to cut wood, so I will be holding off on making our final base until we get the next upgrade. Cave exploration went really well. Not only did we get the 2 items that we need, but I got a ton of cloth, which will be great for zip lines and just making a ton of other stuff. We got a bunch of bones to make bone armor and a ton of supplies in general. I also faced my first mutant monster in another cave, which connects to the Hanging Cave. I used a combination of Molotov cocktails and the bone air to defeat it, and this cave, if this is all blank, it's because I just deleted the video, but the cave's pretty graphic. I don't want to get demonetized, so let's get back up to the surface. Somebody made a great MS Paint map for us to use here, so we're at number 4 right now. Our base is over here at this island. I'm pretty good at supplies. I don't need to go back to the base right now, so I'm gonna hit up some of these other spots while we have the time and knock out some of my other objectives. One of the best weapons in the game is the pistol. It's spread into several different parts, which are located in underground caches all over the map. You need to blow these up with dynamite to get the part of the gun, and then you combine them all once you have them. Since these are so spread out, I want to start getting these pieces so we don't have to run all the way back here, and there we are, one down. Directly north of us is a massive settlement of mutants, or more cannibals. The mutants are the mutated cannibal guys. Anyways, I'm covered in red paint, so the inhabitants should welcome me as their new god. So all we got to do is just hop over in here and hope that it is not raining. I wanted to come here to pick up all the cloth, and since there are several passengers that we can cross off our passenger list, I've never got the achievement for getting all these, and since this is going to be such a long playthrough, we might as well get this one done. Quick little PSA for you guys. Make sure that you do save your game, otherwise you got to do this whole thing all over again like you see me doing right here. On my way to rebuild my other base that I already made and you saw me make, we found another cache, so we're gonna blow this up and get that next piece going. Bang. So you guys, very important, save your game. For phase 2 of my master plan, my main goal is going to be to explore all of the caves, get all of the gear upgrades, and embark on the final quest to save my son. First things first, let's go to the nearby cave to get the rebreather so we can dive underwater for longer. These homies really don't want me to dock up here. I'm going to try to avoid them as much as possible to maintain relations with the locals, but we're going to make our way over to cave 5. There we are. Map saved the day. Overall, the cave experience is exactly what you would expect from any normal cave. A bunch of pale bald dudes hanging out with a heap heap of designer luggage. I'm not complaining. I'll take all the cloth I can get. The one thing that's always peeved me about the caves in this game is just how dark they are. I don't play with any mods or cheats or anything, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it, but man. Moving towards the end, we get our flashlight, which I personally don't like using, and then there's also the rebreather. It's not really a full scuba tank, but it might as well be. You still have to watch your oxygen a little bit, but it lasts a really long time. Bringing back our trusty MS Paint map, we're gonna make our way over to Cave 1, which is just absolutely massive, but first, we're gonna do some underwater exploring. If you haven't played this game before, there's several sea caves throughout the ocean. They're kind of like a secret dungeon type of thing. This one's in a shipwreck. They're not really important to the story at all, but they do give us some awesome blueprints for things to build, which we will be building later, and then this one in particular gives us the crossbow. Looks like I found another little village here. Nobody's home, and it looks like there aren't any passengers at this one either. I think this is the entrance to it. It's really hard to tell. Well, it's an entrance to some cave. I really underestimated this one. It is massive, like big. Here's the maps I pulled off the wiki. The thing is, this cave links to two of the other caves, so you kind of traverse the entire map, but underground. Luckily for us, this gives us everything that we need to do the final dungeon and face the final boss. First, we stumble onto this lovely scene with this man with some very intense body art. They do have the katana that I was after, along with tons of meds and cash. Wonder what they were up to. After being hopelessly lost down here for quite a while, I found a way out, or so I thought. This passage brings us to the edge of a massive sinkhole, which, spoiler alert, is going to be where we're going next, but not right now. Going back inside, we find our way into the next cave, battling through hordes of these alien-looking ass creatures. We find the chainsaw in a pile of gore. Into the next cave, we find the climbing axe. This axe is going to allow us to traverse walls, but only walls that have this specific texture. This is going to be essential in reaching the bottom of the sinkhole, but unfortunately, we can't just climb down any rock face. I built myself a little log cabin so I can save the game so I don't have to redo all of this all over again. Pretty beautiful set in here. Look at all the mountains, but we are really far from civilization, but this is a great place to start on my next journey. We have to finish that pistol. Well, that looks to be everything. Time for Dad to save the day. At this point, we battled our way to the bottom of the sinkhole, found the entrance to the underground laboratory, and we've uncovered the secret that forced us onto the peninsula in the first place. This ancient piece of technology contains our dead son, but by harvesting the soul of another, we can bring him back from the dead. With the horrible monster slain, we return with the parasite's host to save our son. Unbeknownst to us previously, this ancient machinery requires a live sacrifice to perform the ritual. We move on to the next room in search of a suitable host. At the top of this tower, we find the second artifact. This artifact grants us the power to bring a plane out of the sky to suit our needs for a living sacrifice. We have to do the right thing. Undoubtedly, my character cares a lot about his son. But I'm not him, and I saw a lot of beachfront property out there. That's free real estate. Now that that mess is over with, we can finally get onto the building part of this. It's my favorite part. If you've seen any of my other videos, I think it's pretty self-evident. I love this spot. This is the first spot that I ever built a base in this game. You have the river running right through here. You have the dense jungle, which gives you a ton of resources, and just, I like the look of it. So Yeah, that's always a plus. Now, I am realizing one thing. I do want to protect the natural beauty of the area where I'm setting up shop, so I'm going to be outsourcing my logs from a little further away via these zip lines. All we got to do is send the logs down the zip line. If you can see the ghost creation, like, whiteout thing down there, you can see that I'm building a little shed for all these to go into. Hopefully that'll contain them, and I can just send a ton over, and let's see how this thing's actually working out. Oh, yo. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. Hilariously, I missed one extremely important piece of gear. Wish me luck. I'm going to try to speedrun it. There we go. We got the pedometer, and now we can count our steps. The reason for it is that there's an achievement for getting 50,000 steps, and since I'm going to be playing this for the next eon, might as well get those in. So it's trying to go for like a little dock and boat type of scenario. The builder here, it did something weird where I put a post in the middle. It's still a functioning dock. It just doesn't look that good. So far, I got a little bit of an Ewok village type of thing going on. I do want one more structure out over the water here. I'm trying to figure out how to make that. It's going to have to be some sort of custom building. I don't think I'm going to be able to do the little like tree platforms in between it though. We'll figure it out. They sent 2 of them after me. So I died for the first time. This is crazy. This is why I built everything off the ground. Oh shit, what? Yo! I didn't think he could break my buildings. What? Maybe because they were in trees and he can kill trees. Well, guys, there goes like 5 hours of progress. That's insane how quick that got wiped out. Oh my god. All right, so we're not going to be doing the Ewok village anymore. We're doing rustic hunting lodge, work in progress. But what I'm going to be trying to do, well, first off, I knocked out this wall. We'll look at the view, but what I'm going to be trying to do is get one of each of all of the heads to display on my wall. Personally, I think taxidermy is pretty creepy in real life, but there's an achievement for getting all of these, so we might as well knock that one out now. Alright guys, a little bit of a planning session here. I already have my hunting cabin somewhat finished. I think I might want to add something in the middle of it. It's kind of just open, but I realized that I don't really have a primary residence. I just have a secondary home. There's a nearby town full of savages, and if I'm going to live here full time, I might as well join them. So next step is we're going to be moving in to the nearby town. I don't really expect the natives to be super into this idea, so I want a way to quickly escape them. Also, this is just a way to get to my vacation home a little bit faster. Oh, they all came out to welcome me. This was a terrible idea. I knew it was going to be hot, but I didn't know it was going to be this hot in this area. I can't get anything done. I managed to build this. This was like 7 days of progress right here. It's just not worth it, and I'm no longer having fun. I really wanted to make a massive zipline system that went all the way out to this far island and connected to this little peninsula and everything here, but they just don't reach that far. Super disappointing, but I'm just gonna scrap this entire idea. And here we are, right back to where I belong. I keep getting drawn back to this spot, and if the natives don't want to be friends, that's fine. I'll build my own city. I'm gonna kind of just go at this and see what develops. There are 3 main things that I do need to build though. First of them, gazebo. Cool as hell, and an achievement for it. I've realized that everything is gonna grow back eventually, so let the deforestation begin. The church itself takes a ton of logs in order to build, but it's definitely not going to be the most log intensive one we're building, so I do need to make a better barge for this. Let me see how many log holders I can get on this bad boy. Now, that's a lot of logs. Looks like we have a carrying capacity of 35 per run. This should greatly speed up the building process. When I'm playing these type of games, I always think it's a good idea to try to not automate, but develop a system of resource acquirement that's a little bit better than just gathering and bringing it back somewhere. This is what I've come up with so far. We have a little bit of like a docking area for our barge, so we'll be able to just pull this thing right up into here, and hopefully we'll be able to fill up the barge itself, and then also all of our coffers on the side, so every time we come and bring the barge in, we'll be able to fill it up twice in one go. Kanye said there's no church in the wild, but I guess he's wrong. Now my problem is trying to find a way to get into there. I want a zip line at least from the church over there, but I would need something higher on the opposite bank in order to get a zip line into the church. So I'm probably just going to have to do some sort of staircase here. 50,000 depths on the pedometer. Look at that. What are these boys scheming about down here? If you weren't aware, games on Steam have a set of achievements for them. Normally, I couldn't care less about them. I've done most of these already since I've been playing so much of this game, but there's a bunch that I haven't, and I might as well get them all done while we're doing this super long playthrough. You can tell the ones that I don't have because they're grayed out on the right here. It looks like I've never actually finished the game, which is hilarious. I'm going to be working my way down from the highest percentage down to the lowest percentage. That's a percentage of people who have the game, who have completed the achievement. Obviously, I can't finish the game yet. We're not really done with the playthrough, but we'll get to that one eventually. First one on the list, major cannibalism. Eat an entire family. This is surely getting demonetized. Oh boy, time to go into town. Hungry? Find something to eat? Don't mind if I do. Oh boy, dinner. Realistically, nobody needs to see this. We'll skip to the end. I've done a terrible, terrible thing. My sanity, not too good after that one. Next up, handyman. Repair a shelter. Gonna damage my own home a little bit here, and then repair it. With that one being completed, we're on to another very easy one, the longest wall. So I was reading online, we don't actually have to build the wall and fill it in with all of the wood or anything. We just have to set down that like initial see-through like plan for the wall. Commercial fisherman, kill 6 or more fish with a stick of dynamite. I know it says dynamite, but I'm hoping that my head bomb's gonna work for this one. Look at all those fish. Yep, got him. Next up, we have the Good Father. We have to collect all the robot pieces and make the robot. I'm currently just one piece away, the body of the robot. Let me look up which cave that one's found in, and let's go get it. Well, that was easy. I have no clue how I missed that earlier. And 2 Timmy drawings. And we're a good father. Next up, you are a fun guy. Time to eat some shrooms. I was gonna collect them all, but I have been eating these occasionally. I think, yep, that is it. We got it. Next up, we're gonna be doing crafty. Craft all items. It's not actually every single item in the game, but it is a good amount of them, and I'm really dreading this one. Luckily, I've done most of these already. There's just a few rather difficult and time-consuming ones left. There we go, some shitty arrows. Somehow, I haven't made an axe yet. Kinda crazy. Then we got the Energy Mix Plus. That's the rock bag, and that's some snowshoes. But next up, we have the spear bag, which requires deerskin, which I currently don't have. It's time to go hunting. And that's our spear bag, which I will never use. And here we are, the dumbest item in the game, the upgraded rock. Listen, if we can upgrade a rock, surely we can upgrade a stick, and that's Crafty unlocked. We did it all. Crafty's not updating for me yet. I'll have to mess with Steam a little bit. But next up, we have Spelunker, which is, according to the wiki, the most time-consuming and difficult one on here. I'm not sure if I agree with that, because all we gotta do is explore all the caves, most of which I've already done. This achievement is tied to the in-game map, so all we have to do is fully fill out the map for each cave, and then we will get the achievement. This is also tracked on our to-do page of the survival book. First up, I'm going to be doing the baby cave, which looks like I haven't even been in on this playthrough yet. Cave is short and sweet, full of babies, kind of creepy. Oh my god, finally. This thing is so buggy. I went through this little part of this cave. It's like a tiny little stretch if you've ever played this, but like probably 8 or 9 times. And finally, it just randomly crossed off. I don't know what I did differently, but ugh. Just got the lawyer's cave done. This is extremely buggy. I'm getting very, very frustrated. It's kind of just about triggering the to-do list to actually pop up. I was trying for probably like 20 or 30 minutes to get cave 5, the underwater cave, I forgot exactly what it's called, to trigger on here, and I just couldn't get it to pop up. It's very, very frustrating. Next up, ledge cave. I've actually heard that you need to do this cave before the... well, there we go. To-do list popped up, and then it automatically crossed itself out. But what I was trying to say is that there's certain parts of this cave that you need to explore to unlock parts of other caves, so that's why I'm going in this one anyways. There we go. It actually just crossed off the sinkhole cave, even though we're not even in there. Well, I totally missed it. So we just got the Spelunker, it popped up. I wasn't recording just because I was exploring this cave, trying to get the second to last one and then do like a little voiceover type of thing. But we got it. I guess we don't need to do the other cave. Thank Christ. It was just... It bugged out. It bugged out so much that it's not even on my to-do list at all, but we completed it without completing it, I guess. And the very last one that we can do here, get closure. Find all of the missing passengers. 39 out of 43, 4 of them left to go. This is so hard to read. Look at that. I wish there was like a better way to look at this. Anyways, I'm going to decipher this and try to get after it. Perfect. According to this map that I'm using, there should be a bunch of them just hidden in the forest, like right around here. I'm hoping that all of the ones I'm missing are here. Right, there's one, and that's not the one I was looking for. Yeah, other than these guys that were just like in the forest right here, the rest of them are just like all in caves, super linear, just part of the storyline. Shouldn't have any problem finding them. And I mean, if you just go outside of the first cave or cave 1, these guys are just chilling in the forest here. There's 3 more achievements that I do need that I just cannot do in this playthrough. I'm gonna have to start a new game. These are survive the forest, so I am gonna have to save my son and actually beat the game for the first time ever. There is gross, which I'll show you what that one is. It's pretty gross. And then ultimately, the last one here is vegan. So I cannot kill or eat any animals. So I'm just gonna speedrun like one story mode as quick as humanly possible. I did film the whole thing, but nobody wants to watch me rebeat the game again. I got the rebreather, climbing axe, keycard, and then just ran down the hill of the sinkhole, or ran down the walls of the sinkhole. You don't really have to go through the cave at all. For this challenge, you don't even really need to consider eating an animal, as you're just blitzing the caves and crushing protein bars along the way. This is the gross achievement right here. We gotta drink some water out of this head-flavored water jug. I'm about to do a very bad thing here, but it must be done. Officially over 45 out of 45. I feel like I've been messing up like the entire time here. There's a glider we can build, and I did know about this. I have tried to make it in the past. I've just not really been able to fly it. But if we're gonna escape this island, we need some wings, so let's get started on this. The other part of this is we need something really high to take off from, so we have to build this tower, which costs 317 plus logs to build. So this is gonna be this is gonna be the biggest building project of the video, and I cannot wait to show you the whole base after it's done. It's kind of cool how they just like randomly add them in there. Just got all these logs floating in midair for the time being. Pretty much exactly 1/3 of the way done. And 100 more logs, but things are a little clear cut here. They're taking longer just because I have to keep on going further and further back, but we're gonna get it done. 4 full carts ready to go back, and then just one more trip. One very last load, and it's completed. Look at this monstrosity. As I said previously, the main function of this is just to get you some additional elevation so you can use the glider. I probably should have brought my glider up here with me, because I'm just gonna have to do this again off camera in just a second here, but let's take a look at that view. Wish me luck, guys. I've tried to use this in the past very unsuccessfully, and I did not save before this, so I really want this to go well. Wow, this is so easy. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Our time here on this peninsula has officially ran its course. While I'm excited to show you where I've been living all this time, I'm also excited to get off this game. This creek has been my home for the past I don't know how many hours. I don't want to know how many hours. I tried out a few other spots, but there's really just something magical about this area right here that kept drawing me back. I'm really sentimental for it. Hop on my boat. I'll give you a little bit of a tour. I went on the edges of the creek with torches to make sure that I didn't get afraid of the dark, and also it just looks really cool. I tried to light up the area as much as I could. This game doesn't really give us too much of a variety of options to do this, so I had to just do these skull torches. My base overall is really simple. I'm a simple man with simple needs, and building in this game takes forever. I have my cabin, which hasn't really changed at all since the beginning. I love the view out back here. I also built a gazebo so I can ponder out over the lake even further. Oh, and just a little mini slide here that actually works. I built a giant ass church because of that one Kanye song, and then the zip lines everywhere to connect everything because walking is for chumps. Anyways, guys, it's been real. I had a blast making this video for you, but our time here is done, and it's time for me to fly out into the sun. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like the video, make sure that you do like the video. Helps me out grow as a channel. If you can't tell, pretty new here. Subscribe if you did want to see more like it, and let me know what you thought. Do you like this type of format, the like 100 hours, just super long playthrough type of thing? I kind of lost the plot in the middle of with it. I didn't really know what to do. It's my first time doing it, so any type of direction would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next one.